CM Punk and the Elite were kept apart backstage during AEW Forbidden Door. We also look at plans for the return of an AEW gimmick match that have been revealed. And there's a major update on Randy Orton and a possible return to action in WWE. More on that later in this video. Hello everybody, Jack and Ross back again with more news coming out of the back of Forbidden Door. Fightful Select reporting a quite significant update, in my opinion, on the drama between the Elite and Punk and all the backstage AEW stuff.
How are they going to coexist? Because Fightful Select are reporting today that Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks and CM Punk were put on completely different sides of the building at Forbidden Door. That's what they've been told by sources.
Well, there's two possibilities here. It's a work or it's a shoot.
Yes.
It could be a work to enhance this story of animosity between the two parties, or it could legitimately be real.
I hope it's a work, because
I
surely
fear it's not.
This can't continue. Surely
I know.
CM Punk's been given his own show. We know this Collision on a Saturday night. Obviously, they're going to have to come together at least 4 times a year for big pay-per-view events. Surely Tony Khan hadn't put all the pieces back together again before bringing back an instigate or a big part of the thing that went wrong in the first place.
Now, you say that surely he hasn't done that. But he would. He could.
Well,
he
I know that
definitely
he's
could have done.
he's a little bitch when he's in the room with CM Punk. Sorry, Mr. Phil, can I have one of your little fizzy drinks there, please, sir?
I see. I'm
just going back to that press conference back last night. So that didn't set off maybe the best sort of stuff for Tony Khan and CM Punk's relationship. But then we've read recently that apparently CM Punk's just going to be a company guy and not cause any fuss on his return to the company, just saying yes to whatever Tony Khan wants and do the best that he can with that. So it's got to be a work. I'm not willing to put anything on the line for that assumption on my part, but that's where I'm going towards.
Well, I think that it's a shoot, because I think this matches up with what happened last week, where the Bucks, a part of Dynamite, was pre-taped because Punk was there at Dynamite, which he won't usually be. He'll usually be a Collision guy, surely. But I guess the counter-argument to that is that also was a work.
Yes.
Okay.
So maybe they're shooting to feed into the work.
Or they're working themselves. So I think the way to decipher this going forward is to see if more and more stories crop up, which they surely will, which can be taken as either a shoot or a work, and that will glean more. The fact they'll either be more believable or more unbelievable, and we'll be able to work out the truth from that.
Yeah.
At the minute, it's unclear. I think it's a shoot. Ross thinks it's a work. What do you think in that comment
We
section?
need some first-hand accounts of them maybe passing the corridor, just the SmackDown 2 Know Your Role backstage music, do, where the guys walk past each other and look back. That sort of stuff going on. So if you work for AEW and watch this video, slide in the DMs. Let us know what's going on.
The one where someone goes to walk into the car park and then looks around and then walks
Then
in
the music changes and then there's an attack.
They're on the floor holding the leg, yeah. Right, elsewhere, Eddie Kingston has commented on CM Punk's return, and it's kind of linked to this. He's kind of talking about whether or not the locker room is divided. This was Eddie Kingston speaking to the New York Post.
He did it his way, and that's the way we wanted to do it. What? That's the way he wanted to do it, I guess that's supposed to say. I expected it. I knew it was happening. Knowing Punk and what he thought was right for him. I see the reports. I see the clickbait on YouTube.
Oh, no.
Hiya. But the locker room is not divided. Not the people I hang out with. Punk's going to do what Punk does, and if whatever Punk does helps this company, no one can say anything. I guess that's fair enough. Maybe there's 1% that are bothered, but the people I chill with, they're good. They don't care.
I'm surprised that Eddie Kingston didn't use this as an opportunity to just have a few digs at CM Punk, which he loves to do. He did that in the feud. Maybe things are more fine between Kingston and Punk. Maybe I've been worked by Eddie Kingston and he doesn't really hate him.
Well, I find it interesting that he says the people I chill with, they're good. Who's he chilling with at the moment there, Jack?
I don't know, but my quote of the year is the locker room is not divided. Not the people I hang out with, which sounds very much like the locker room
not
could
those
be
losers over there.
Yeah, the people I hang out with aren't divided.
No, but on TV, who's he hanging out with at the minute?
On TV, who's he hanging out with? The Elite.
Exactly, they're all chill with it.
Oh, interesting. Although he's not happy being in character.
I'm playing silly buggers.
It's a weird situation, and it's one of the more Like, is this what it was like during the Monday Night Wars and during the Attitude Era, during the Invasion angle? Imagine if Twitter was a thing back then.
Well, you imagine this sort of stuff goes on all the time in wrestling. It's just the fact that this is, CM Punk coming back after however many years, and this is how it wound up. It's just the fact that maybe there's more scrutiny on this one than there would be on any other occasion.
Yes,
you see it on like the proper sports, you know what I mean? The proper sports teams all the time, like players having fights. And
training ground bust-ups.
It's sort of with a handshake and forgotten about the next day, but not in wrestling.
Not in wrestling, not when there's characters to protect. Jungle Boy turned heel at Forbidden Door. He not only lost to Sonata in the match for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, he then turned on Hook afterwards, who he asked to be at ringside because he's his best friend.
You know what the moral of this story is?
What's that?
Christian Cage won.
Yeah,
he's proven right. Again, is Christian Cage.
He is. He's an honest man.
Yeah.
Jungle Boy or Jack Perry was silent after the heel turn until taking to Twitter after his attack to share a still image of the aftermath. Danhausen then decided to put out a tweet telling Hook he'd never do that to him. You could argue that Danhausen is actually Hook's best friend, not Jungle Boy.
They're like crisps together, don't they?
They do like crisps. And then Jungle Boy quote retweeted that and said, "What? Have a good match? F you." He would never have a good match.
I think that's unfair on Danhausen because I forget what he did last time we saw him in the ring, but I remember him having was it the last pay-per-view or the pay-per-view before last? February sort of time, whatever it happened.
When he went serious.
He wrestled a lot better than people who hadn't seen him before thought he could do.
I'm led to believe that Danhausen's a very capable wrestler who chooses to wrestle a comedy style, and fair play to him for that.
So in the words of Taz now, Jungle Boy has effed up.
Yes.
Taz took his glasses off. I think he said on social media as well that he's effed up.
That's up there for me with the Young Bucks jogging to save their dad, is that someone beat up Taz's son in front of him and he took his glasses off.
Oh yeah. Seething so he was.
Yeah.
Kajahima, hey.
I think that Jungle Boy needs to be careful as well. That's what I was going to say. Jungle Boy needs to be careful because we know who Danhausen's friends with backstage as well.
It's that Pepsi Phil, isn't it?
CM Punk. So Jungle Boy needs to be careful and watch what he's doing. Blood and Guts should have like 5 different Blood and Guts matches, all the factions that are popping off.
Just a whole night full of those matches.
Yes.
You see, no company's ever done that before, just having the same match multiple times in the same night. It's never gone wrong.
It never goes wrong. Tony Khan tweeted after the show saying Forbidden Door in Toronto is officially the biggest live gate in AEW history at about $1.2 million US, and it's one of the top 3 biggest live gates in the history of pro wrestling in Canada. Usually when Tony Khan does these kind of number-based brags, I think, I don't care, Tony Khan, but this one is genuinely worth celebrating, I think.
Why?
Big, isn't it?
It's big.
The third biggest, one of the top 3. One of the top 3 to me sounds like it's third, but that's fine.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to cloud that.
No.
One of the top 3 biggest live gates in the history of wrestling in Canada. That's pretty good.
What do you think about how long wrestling's been in Canada? I guess it is a big achievement, but
WrestleMania 6.
Yeah. Toronto Skydome and all that sort of stuff. I guess it'd be so big with the Skydome shows. But it screams to me that obviously there's been a lot of scrutiny about the collision attendance and stuff, lads. And maybe he's gone just. We can't draw people in the buildings. Take that one.
Maybe he has. Also, there was obviously Forbidden Door last year. This was Forbidden Door 2. Will there be, Ross, a Forbidden Door 3?
Well, if there is, I saw a sign on the weekend's Collision episode that said, it said Botchamania versus Promo Joe for Promo Joe at Forbidden Door 3. So that's a match that clearly needs to happen.
When Promo Joe started cropping up and getting big, I thought Matthew was going to be furious, but actually, I think they're friends.
Oh, it's such a shame.
Yeah.
Peeling back the curtain anyway. Will there be a Forbidden Door 3 where Matthew can fight Promo Joe? Yes, says Fightful Select. Not that this is any surprise, but sources on the New Japan side expect the Forbidden Door to continue as a tradition moving forward, and that's very much a welcome thing, I guess, for everyone concerned.
Yeah, so far it's succeeded. I think that it had a different feel this year, it seems to, in the matchups. Like last year felt thrown together because it kind of was, but it worked because of that. This year felt a bit more structured with big matches taking place, big names, and it worked for that reason as well. I wonder whether next year we'll continue this rather successful trend. Also, Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select has reported that AEW Blood and Guts will return when AEW comes to Boston. According to the AEW touring schedule, they are hosting Dynamite at the TD Garden on Wednesday, July 19th, indicating that the match will be happening sooner rather than later. That's got to be the Elite versus the BCC, right?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. I think that's the way they've been setting it up, just subtly in the background.
I'm expecting the BCC to somehow get one over again on the Elite after losing at the weekend, because they need to I think, swing things in their favor so that then Ibushi can come and save the day or whoever. But I'm assuming it's Ibushi.
Yeah.
Will come and save the day.
It's going to have to be Ibushi since he wasn't there last night.
He wasn't. And there was
scandalous.
And there was that. Well, I don't know if he was there backstage or not, but I haven't heard anything. But also there was that tease they did, wasn't there, where it's like Kenny's left the country to go and look for someone, but he's not gone to Canada. And we're like, right, well, it's obviously Japan. It's got to be Japan then.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
It's where he's from. Well, it's not. He's from Canada. But it's where he lived for a bit. Also, now we're talking about WWE for a little bit because there's a major update on Randy Orton. This comes via Kurt Angle on his own podcast.
Yeah, Kurt Angle says that Randy is doing good. Angle's revealed that Orton has recovered from his back surgery and thinks he's going to be back in the ring pretty damn soon's a direct quote. Kim Orton and Giovanni Angle are very close friends, suggesting that Angle would have the inside knowledge on Randy's progress. Excuse me.
Well, they're partners of friends, so I guess that means...
Up the Giovanni and up the Kim.
Or Giovanna.
Giovanna.
Yeah.
Beg me pardon. It's hay fever. I can't see.
I can't see.
My eyes are so watery.
This eye. Yeah. Thanks very much for watching us struggle through this news video. If you have any thoughts or opinions on any of these stories, do leave them in the comment section down below and check out our other news video on this very channel earlier today. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you very soon.